Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
Hey, thanks for hitting play. My name is David Leslie, and I'm the Marine. With everything that's going on in the world right now, with everything that we're seeing, from Russia to Ukraine, to Syria, to Egypt, to Libya, to Jerusalem on the Gaza Strip, to Iraq, with ISIS, with everything that we see, mainstream media has started to drop the ball on one issue. And this is the idea behind a caliphate, what ISIS is building in Iraq right now, and what the Muslim population should be grossly fighting against at an alarming level. Because this is also a bad thing and a hit towards their religion worldwide with major implications. And this nation is failing to see those things. ISIS has declared that it's going to become a caliphate, a state that is run, a nation that is run by one supreme leader. And that one supreme leader is also their religious leader and their political leader. He serves dual roles. Al-Baghdadi has become that one supreme leader. The man that chose to cut off the heads of Shiite Muslims that were helping the U.S. in the Iraq War, to pushing Christians out of its lands. The same man that has chosen to take 2 million Sunni Muslim women and order genital mutilation. He's that leader that has declared ISIS to be a Sunni caliphate. He has chosen to be the Caliph, the successor to the Prophet Muhammad. This is a major deal in the Islamic religion. Now here's a thing. The reason why it's a major deal is because it's not a caliphate. The Caliph is ruled by two things. The Caliph is ruled by Sharia law, Islamic law, and is also ruled by the Constitution of Medina. Something that the mainstream media isn't telling you about. They're continuing the false propaganda that ISIS has created a caliphate. And why the Muslims, including American Muslims, should be alarmed. And we as a nation should be alarmed. Not just because of what we see going on in Iraq, but the implications, the religious implications this has. And I cite the Constitution of Medina to prove that this is by far nowhere near a caliphate. Because the Constitution of Medina has rights to non-Muslims, 4 of them. The first right is that the security of God is for everyone. There are no items, there are no identifications, there are no race or culture, sexual orientation, skin color that could keep you from God. The security of God is for all. That's the first right. The second right is that non-Muslims have the same rights, politically and religiously, to Muslims within a caliphate. And that includes religious freedom. The third right is that all parties who live in the Caliphate, whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims, share the cost of war. Because if that Caliphate comes under attack, they're responsible in order to defend that Caliphate. However, this is the fourth right for non-Muslims who live in a Caliphate. Non-Muslims will not be obligated to fight in a war that is within Muslim culture. They're not obligated. They're not obligated to take part in any religious war whatsoever for the Muslim population. Those are the rights within the Constitution of Medina. The Constitution of Medina was scripted out by the Prophet to ensure that the bitter turmoil going on between all the clans would stop. That the bitter turmoil and the fighting going on between the Muslims, Jews, Christians, and pagans would all stop. That's where the Constitution of Medina came from. And the Caliph, who is the supreme leader in the Caliphate, is governed by those two things: Sharia law and the Constitution of Medina. And what ISIS has created is nowhere near a caliphate. And for all of us here in the United States, that should ring out a major alarm, because we haven't seen a caliphate since the fall of the Ottoman Caliphate in 1922. Because the fall of that caliphate, which was brought on by World War I because the supreme leader chose the side of Germany versus the Allied nations. The fall of that caliphate also spurred the Turkish Revolution, which gave the Turkish people an identity. And in 1924, they outlawed anything that has to do with a caliphate. Completely outlawed it. And here's the strange thing. The Carnegie Foundation has come across enough financial evidence to see that ISIS is generating $50 million in revenue per month from the black market sale of crude oil coming from the Syrian fields. Syria is still under a major civil war, and those sympathizers to ISIS are stealing anywhere between 250 to 500,000 gallons of oil, crude oil, daily. And guess who's buying it all up? Those same Turkish people that in 1924 outlawed anything that has to do with the Caliphate. And Turkey is an ally. The reason why this has such major implications is because as a terroristic state, young Muslims, young jihadists will flock to this caliphate. Naive, uneducated Muslims. People from Al-Qaeda that just doesn't see that they're on the right path. Because eventually ISIS and Al-Qaeda are going to have to do a dick measuring contest to figure out who's the worst, who's the best of the best. And with ISIS already sitting on $4 billion in assets, and they're acquiring energy revenue to build their nation, we should all be alarmed, because the finances are there to ensure an army, a terroristic army of 60,000 Sunni fighting soldiers. All y'all out there that may be against what's going on in Israel and Hamas and what they're doing on the Gaza Strip. Well, once Israel wins, and God willing, they will win, ISIS is coming for them. And they're coming for any nation that goes against them, including us. And the scary thing about it is that they're acquiring military-grade weaponry at an alarming rate. not only did I put a post out there that they are now in control of unknown amounts of enriched plutonium, weaponized plutonium. I mean, when you got 4 billion in total assets and you're bringing in 50 million a month in oil revenue, you can pretty much buy whatever it is that you want. They now have surface-to-air missiles. Surface-to-air missiles are now in their possession, which means the air battle over Iraq is about to be fought. And do you really think the Shiite fighters are going to be able to protect themselves from that type of technology? It's not going to happen. The fall of Baghdad is imminent. When they take Baghdad, they're going for the oil fields in South Iraq. And that's going to increase their revenue. And the more revenue they have, the stronger they become as a terrorist state. They are not a caliphate at all, whatsoever. Not even close. But the uneducated will flock to them. And mainstream media is keeping that from you. Think about it. With everything that is going on, we saw what Al-Qaeda, just a terrorist group, not a state, not a nation, just a group, did to us in 9/11. What do you think a nation is going to do to us with 60,000 paid fighters? Pay attention, America. Talk to your political leaders. That's the end of this video. Hope you got some information off of it. I am running a t-shirt drive for my foundation. My foundation is a Tufuanin Project. It's a veterans organization here in Dallas-Fort Worth. We help veterans that have PTSD, help them cope, help them choose which form of therapy they would like to have. And we promote quite a bit of programs to actually help our veterans, because we understand, I understand, dealing with PTSD isn't a one-size-fits-all issue. But we're doing a t-shirt drive. It's Red Friday, everybody knows, remember everyone deployed. It's a custom-made Red Friday t-shirt. And you'll see the link to that at the bottom of this video. We're selling 50 t-shirts, that's it. We got 7 already reserved. Teesprings has been great to my foundation. Please check it out. Got a custom logo up front. I do all the designs for my t-shirt. Got a custom Red Friday logo on the back. So when you wear that shirt on Friday, everybody knows your support for our military. And being a combat veteran means a lot to us. Absolutely means a lot to us. So check it out. Reserve a shirt for yourself. There are many different styles, many different designs, styles of t-shirts. So pick which one you like and order it. Go to the link below. Subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook. You'll catch a lot from me. I got more videos to come. And that's it. My name is David Leslie, and I'm the Marine.